Okay, so for this project, you're going to need a couple of colors. The first one, you're going to need yellow for the center of the flower, and I also used yellow for kind of the inside detailing. You can use whatever color you want for that, but I just wanted it to match. So a color for your center, and then you'll need, I'll flip it over so you can see, you'll need a base color. So I chose pink for this one. For my next one, I'm going to be using this cream color, so you need that one. And then flipping it back over to the other side, you could use 3 different colors for this if you wanted, or you could use 2 like I did. You just need to pick out the colors for your flowers. So one for the center row, another for the middle, and then a color for the ruffles. And then this is optional, but I also added, I sewed on pearls here using beads. That's totally optional. And then if you want your bag to be more sturdy when you're like using it, I would recommend sewing a lining to the strap. So if you want to do that, then you'll need fabric and needle and thread. Some other materials that I forgot to mention, these are also important. You'll need scissors, a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 4.25 millimeter hook for mine. A stitch marker would be really helpful, or I know a lot of people use bobby pins, so anything to just kind of mark your place. And then a tapestry needle. And like I said earlier, if you are sewing a lining, you will need a needle and thread. So to start our bag, we need to first make, let me see if I can, okay, we need to first make 2 of these kind of star-shaped panels, and that's what we're going to be attaching the petals to later. So we're going to start off with this, and we're going to begin with the center. So what you need to do is grab your yellow yarn, or the color that you're using for your center of your flower, and we're going to begin with a magic ring. So if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you right now. So grab the yarn like so, hold the tail end like this, and then loop and form sort of an X shape on your fingers. Then we're going to grab our hook, insert it onto the bottom, and then grab the top loop. And then to secure it in place, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to chain 2 more. So now we should have 3 chains to start off our magic ring. Now we need to do 12 double crochets. This first chain 3 does not count towards the 12, so we're going to do 12 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's how you do a double crochet. We need to now do 11 more of those. So once again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 2 double crochets. We need 10 more. So just keep doing this until you have 12 total, not counting your chain 3, and then I'll meet you guys back once we're finished with that. So I just finished making my 12th double crochet, and now what we're going to do is we're going to close our magic rings. Just pull on the tail and it should close like so. Make sure it's tight. And now we are going to slip stitch into the first double crochet. So we had a chain 3 space. We're not going to do anything into that space. We're going to go into the first double crochet instead, make a slip stitch, and now we have a complete circle. So that was round 1. For round 2, we are going to chain 3, and we're going to make 2 of the double crochets into each of the stitches. So starting here, so we placed 1 into this stitch, we need to place 1 more into the same stitch. And so at the end of this round, you should have 24 stitches total, since we're putting 2 stitches into each of the previous row. So technically right now we are increasing. So every time we say increase in the tutorial, that means we have to place 2 stitches into the same stitch. This is a part where if you want to use a stitch marker to kind of mark your first stitch, you can. Sometimes it does make it easier, especially if you're using a darker color. So I'll just add one. So now we'll just continue, and then if you ever get lost on how many stitches you should have, just make sure the second round should have 24 total. And I'll meet you guys back when we're starting round 3. Okay, so as we can see, I just placed my last 2 double crochets, and now we are at the end of round 2. So after round 2, we're gonna do what we did for the previous round. We're gonna skip over our chain 3 space and put 1 slip stitch into our first double crochet from this round. And now we're done with our yellow, and we're going to fasten off. Now that we've completed using our yellow, we're going to begin with our base color. So for my base color, I'm going to use cream. You can use whatever color you want. And just to let you guys know, we have to repeat doing this one more time. We need 2 panels, so we have to do this twice. It does work up pretty quickly once you get the pattern down, so it shouldn't take too long. Now we're going to begin the first round of our base color, or round 3. So we're gonna find any spot. I try to avoid anything like around here next to the place we fastened off. So anything away from there is good. Insert your hook. We're just going to do a slip stitch. And now that you have your yarn securely in place, to start off round 3, we need to do the same thing as before and chain 3. Now that we've chained 3, we're going to do this pattern for this round. We're going to do 1 double crochet, a double crochet increase into the next stitch, just like that. So we have 1 double crochet, increase. We're going to repeat that 12 times. 1 double crochet, increase into the next stitch. At the end of this round, if you're completing this pattern correctly, you should have a total of 36 stitches. So we're going to keep doing that pattern. 1 double crochet, a double crochet increase, so continue this until we get back to the beginning of our row, and then we'll begin row 4. So I just finished my last stitch. I have 36 stitches total in my round. Just like the previous rounds, we're going to skip the chain 3 space, go straight into the first double crochet, slip stitch, and chain 3. So at the start of every round, it's going to be the same thing, slip stitch and then chain 3. This is what adds the height and makes it cleaner on the previous row. So now we're starting our 4th row. For this row, the pattern is going to be double crochet in the next 2 stitches, just 1 in each. Now we're going to do an increase into the next stitch. So that's two double crochets in the same stitch. So ignoring this chain 3 space, this is what we have. Double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, increase. That's our pattern for this row. So essentially we're increasing each row. We added another double crochet before an increase this time. So that's the pattern for this row. I'll do it once more. Double crochet, double crochet, and now we're increasing. Continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you back once we're beginning row 5. Just finished the last stitch for this round 4. Same as last time, skipping this chain 3 spot and doing a slip stitch into the first double crochet. This is what it looks like. We're going to chain 3. Now we are going to begin round 5. So for round 5, it's going to be 3 double crochet increase. So double crochet in the next 3 spaces, ignoring this one. This doesn't count as our stitch. It counts 1, 2, 3. Double crochet increase. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, double crochet increase into the 4th stitch. That's the pattern for round 5. Repeat this and I'll meet you back for round 6. So now we are going to begin on row 6. Row 6 is going to be 4 double crochets and then a double crochet increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry, I put it into the same stitch. 4. We have 4 double crochets. We're going to do an increase in the next stitch. 1, 2 in the same stitch, and repeat this for the rest of the row. 4 double crochet and then a double crochet increase. This is our progress for round 6. At the end of round 6, you should have a total of 72 stitches. And now we're going to work on round 7, which is the last round before we start on these points. So for round 7, we're going to do 5 single crochets and then an increase. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. After our 5th stitch, do 2 double crochets into the same stitch and repeat this pattern for the rest of the round. Remember that this is the last round before we begin on points, so when we come back, we're going to start on that. Okay, so I just finished round 7. I have 84 stitches total, and now we are going to begin making the points. So to start on that, we need to do 14 double crochets. So we're going to chain 3 once again to start, and then we're going to do 14 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Oh, and one more, 14. Sorry. Okay, 14 double crochets. This is what it should look like. So now we are going to chain 3 and flip our work. So we just did 14 double crochets and chain 3, and now we are going to do a decrease, a double crochet decrease. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, but don't yarn over and pull through the last 2. We're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to pull through 3. So that's a decrease. So at the start and at the end, so the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches are going to be decrease stitches. Now we're going to do 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we should have 2 stitches left over, decrease on these 2. So once again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, only pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So this is what it should look like. We're going to start decreasing and seeing that point shape like here, so it's going to keep going. So we just finished round 2. We're on round 3 now. Chain 3, turn your work. So like previous round, we're going to start with a decrease, like so. Now that we've done our decrease, we're going to have 8 double crochets. And now that we have 8 double crochets, you are going to do a decrease, and for reference, to make sure that you're doing the correct amount of stitches, always remember that you should have 2 stitches remaining so that you can do a decrease at the end. So if you have 2 stitches at the end that you can decrease into, you know that you have the right amount. That was round 3. Round 4, we're going to chain 3, turn our work. Round 4 is going to be a decrease, and then 6 double crochet, and then decrease. So we just did our decrease, make 6 double crochet, and once you get the hang of this point pattern, it goes by very quickly. It makes up very fast. So it's super simple. The only complicated part really is the petals, but once you get those down too, it's pretty simple. So now we see we have 2 stitches remaining. We're going to decrease. To start round 7, chain 3, turn your work. Round 5, sorry. To start round 5, we're going to do a decrease. And now we're going to do 4 double crochets. So it's always, the amount of double crochets is always going down by 2 each row. Now we're going to do a decrease. To start round 6, chain 3, turn your work. We're going to do a decrease. And 2 double crochets. And 1 more decrease. And that is round 6. Round 7 is our last round. Chain 3, turn your work, and since we only have 4 stitches, as you can see here, we're just going to do 2 decreases. Super simple. There's the first one, and 1 more. This is how your point should be looking. It's 7 rounds. So once we're at the last round, we're going to just fasten off and get ready to start our next point. We need 6 of these for the flower. We have 1 down. We need to make 5 more. So since I already showed you how to do this 1 petal, I'm going to show you how to start and attach your next petal, and then if you need to rewatch the steps, you can just go back and rewatch the portion for the point. But to attach your point, you're going to find a spot that's at the end. So like right next to the beginning of this point. So in that same stitch. And then we're just gonna do the same thing. 14 double crochets is going to be your first round, and then you'll decrease until you get to round 7. You fasten off, and then you would attach again and repeat. So if you need to see the pattern again, you can rewatch this point portion. If not, we're going to now get started on the petals. Okay, so I just finished making the first base, and you're going to repeat this 1 more time so that you have 2 of them. Make sure that you have 6 points for it. And now we are going to start working on the petals. These are pretty simple once you get the hang of it, so make sure you have your colors. I'm going to be using this kind of, it's hard to see on camera, it's like a light purple. It looks more muted on camera. And then I also wanted to use this sparkly purple. They're kind of similar in shape. This one's a little bit more like gray-ish purple, I guess. And then let me get my other yarn. I'm using this. So I'm using 3 colors. I might add in, no, I'll use these 3, yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys how to start on that. Make sure you grab your colors and we'll get started. Okay, so we are going to now get started on the petals. So you'll need to make 6 of these. We're gonna start by picking the color we want for the center. So where I have this pink this is the center color. Pick the color that you want, and then we are going to just make a little slip knot and attach our yarn to our hook like so. Now we are going to chain 25. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So now that we have our 25 chains, we're going to start with our pattern. So into, not this one, but the second chain from the hook, we're going to make a single crochet. Now we're going to make a half double crochet into the next stitch. So a half double crochet, if you don't know, is you yarn over, you insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3. Now we're going to do another half double crochet into the next stitch. And then after our 2 half double crochets, we're going to make 18 double crochet. So we should be pretty familiar with how to do a double crochet, since that's what the base consisted of. So make 18 double crochets, and I'll meet you guys back after we make 18. So I just finished making 18 double crochets, and we should have 3 stitches left. In those 3 stitches, we are going to do 3 single crochets. So 1 in each stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And now, this is what it should look like. We have to repeat what we just did on the other side. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, and I like to work this tail yarn into the next stitches. So we did 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 18 double crochets, just like the other side. And this opposite side can be kind of hard to like find the stitch and get it in, but this is what it should look like once you start going. So I'll do 18, and then I'll meet you guys back once we get to the top. So I just did my 18th double crochet, and this is what your work should look like. Now we're going to kind of work backwards from what we did on this side. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2. It's kind of hard to get in the stitch. And then a single crochet. Now we are done with this color, but we're not going to fasten off. So we're going to have, when we're doing our last single crochet here, we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop, but we're not going to pull through, and we're not going to fasten off yet. We're going to grab our second color, and we're going to attach it like so. Pull it through the 2 loops, and then make sure you tighten the yarn of the previous color. And then we're going to chain 1 to kind of secure it in place. And now you can, where are my scissors? Now that we've done that, we can cut off this color from the previous round. Okay, so we're cutting off the color from the first round, and now we're done with that color for now. So we are on our second row now of the petals, so this is what the cream color is on the second row. We're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, once again, I'm just working this tail yarn in, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets. Now that we've done 4 single crochets, we're going to do 15 half doubles crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. We've just done our 15 half double crochets, and now we are going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we need to do an increase. So we should be at the point. We're going to just do 2 single crochets into that point. Now we're going to do 5 single crochets, and we're essentially mirroring what we did on the other side. So once we've got 5, then we're going to do 15 half double crochets. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. This is what it should look like. Once we've done our 15th half double crochet, we're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and our 4th will essentially be at our first single crochet from the last round. So this is what it's looking like in comparison to the other flower. So now we have to do one more row in this color that we're using currently. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, three half double crochet, and now we are going to do 14 double crochets. So I'll do 14 and then I'll meet you back after that. So I just did 14 double crochets, and as you can see, it's kind of shaping upwards, kind of curving, and that's how we get the flower shape. So after our 14th double crochet, we're going to do 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After our 10th single crochet, we are going to do 14 double crochets, sorry. So just like we did on the other side, we're mirroring once again, just doing 14 double crochets. So we just did 14 double crochet. Now we're going to do 3 half doubles. Single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Don't pull through on your last single crochet. We're now going to switch colors. So grab your last color, and this is going to be the color that you use for your ruffles. So this pink part. Attach your yarn like we did previously. Chain 1. And now we can cut this yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail. So what we're going to do now is 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. So essentially an increase. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets into the same stitch. This is what it should look like. And now we're going to start on the ruffles. So you can do your ruffles differently. You can do more stitches or less stitches, but to do the ruffles, we're going to be doing about 7 or so to do the ruffles, we're going to be doing about 3 or 4, you could do 5 if you really wanted, double crochets into the same stitch. So I'm going to show you with this stitch. After we did our 3 half double crochets in one stitch, we begin on our ruffles. So we're just doing regular double crochets, 3 and 4. For mine, on my previous bag, I did 4 and then I did 3 every now and then just to kind of alternate. I liked how frilly it was there. If you want to make it frillier, you can add more stitches. So in each stitch, we're just doing 3 or 4 double crochets, or however many you would like. And we need to make sure that we are leaving 7 stitches at the beginning. So don't make your ruffles all the way to the top. We need to leave 7 stitches. So for this is where I like to use my stitch marker, just so I don't forget. I like to count off 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I insert my stitch marker there just so that I'm conscious of where I need to stop making my ruffles. So I'm going to do a few more with you guys, and then okay. So as you can kind of see, we're getting that ruffle kind of frilly design now. So just continue doing your double crochets. And if you guys don't know, I do have a TikTok. I post on there pretty consistently. If you want to see, that's where I post most of my work first, just so you can see what I've been making. My TikTok handle is the same as my YouTube handle, so if you want to check it out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, we're just continuing our ruffles, and look at how pretty that is. It's really pretty from the side too. So continue doing that, make sure you leave 7 stitches, and then I'll come back and show you guys how to end off your flower. Okay, so I just did my last double crochet. I just took out my stitch marker, so now I have my 7 stitches that we saved. So now we're going to mirror what we did on this side. So we're going to start with 3 half double crochets in the same stitch. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. And now we're just going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then just to end it, we're going to do slip stitch. Fasten off and cut your yarn. And this is what your petal should look like. We need to make 6 of these, and on my previous one I had this kind of center color, and then I added a bead. So we're gonna do this now. So this is what it's going to look like against a flower. So we're gonna match our center design with our center of our flower. So we're gonna grab our yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. And we're going to find the center of our petal and insert our hook. So like so. Then we're going to do a single crochet. And now we're going to work our way up. We're not going to go all the way up. You could if you wanted to. I like to usually stop around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook like so. Just pop it back up. Make sure it's in the center. And then we're just going to slip stitch. We're going to do that all the way up. So we're just putting our hook in and then just like that. Slip stitch. So it should kind of start to form what looks like a braid design going upwards. So just continue that all the way up. It can be kind of tricky to, yeah, my hook keeps slipping out. It can be kind of tricky to do this, but it's totally optional too. You don't have to add this design if you don't want to. I just think it adds some dimension. So I'm going to continue doing this and then I'll meet you guys back. So I am at the point where I'm almost done. So just a few more. And I don't have any beads with me currently, so I'm not going to be sewing any on. But if you wanted to add a bead at the top, you would just sew it. So now we're going to fasten off, cut our yarn, and then we're going to kind of tuck this yarn underneath the petal. And then I like to tie it with this piece from a previous row just to kind of secure it so it doesn't peek out in the future. So just tying it. I like to do it a couple times just to be safe. And this is how your petal should look. So you need to make 6 of these and then 2 of these. And then they will just go on like so. Okay, so once you have both of your flower bases, and then 6 of your petals. It's time to start assembling it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to sew these together first. So we need to make sure that we put it good side to good side, so the clean sides are facing each other, like so. And then what we're gonna do is you can use a darning needle if you want, or you could just do single crochets with a crochet hook. I prefer doing the single crochet. I feel like it makes it sturdier. So we're going to do that all the way around, and then we're gonna leave a spot where we don't sew. So like this part, we wouldn't sew it. We would just sew, start here and then work your way around. Then once you get back to here, we would fasten it. So we're gonna do that, and then after we sew these together, we're gonna flip it inside out, and then we're going to work on attaching the flowers. So like I said, we're having them good side to good side. Once you have those sides together, we're going to start closing off our bag. So just pick a random place to start. And I'm going to be doing just single crochets to close it. And I'll show you how to do that if you want to do the same thing. So just insert our hook, and then we're just going to, here's my yarn, just do single crochets all the way across. And we're making sure that we leave a space open at the top so that obviously we can use it as a bag. And I apologize for the bad lighting. It's nighttime when I'm filming this, so the lighting's not the best. But so just continue sewing your sides together, and then I'll meet you guys back once the whole thing is sewn together, and we will start attaching the flowers. Okay, so now that we have sewn all the sides together and we have our opening, we're going to start sewing on our petals. So we're gonna cut some yarn. I would suggest using a color that's similar to your middle color. That's so that it kind of blends in better. So this can be kind of tricky to sew them on, but we want to make sure that the side with no frills is going towards the center. And then I'm just going to start off with this one, so get it as close as you can to the center. And then just kind of insert your needle. Make sure that you leave a little tail. And then we're just gonna sew it on. Like so. And just do this all the way around, and for all of the flowers. And we want to make sure when we're sewing, a tip is to put your hand on the inside so that you're not sewing it into these stitches, because that can make your bag, it'll make the flower like stuck to both the sides, and so it's like not able to open all the way. So just be cautious when you're sewing. And just do this for all of the flowers. So now that we have sewn all of our petals on, we need to make the strap that's going to go from this peak, from the opening, to this peak. Now for my other one, for this one, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. I'm going to show you how to do this. And you can make the strap as wide and as long as you want. So we're gonna chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now we're going to do a double crochet into the first stitch like this. And we're just going to keep going double crochet all the way across. So now we have 8 total double crochets. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're just going to go all the way across and keep making double crochets until we get the length that we want. So as you're working, just measure it, see how long it would be if you attached it to the bag, and then we're going to, after we're done, we're gonna attach this strap to the bag. And if you wanted to add like a lining so that it's more sturdy, all you have to do is get your fabric. I'll show you with this one. Get your fabric, and then I folded it over so that the sides were neat, and then I just sewed it on there with like a simple stitch. Nothing fancy. So that's how you would make the strap. Okay, so I finished making the strap. I did 40 rows of double crochets for mine, and then I also sewed in a lining, and now it's time to attach it to our bag. So we're gonna find these little spots right here. We're gonna, you can, like before, you can either choose to sew it with a needle or crochet it, and I'm going to crochet it on. I just feel like it's a lot more sturdy. So I'm going to find my piece that I'm gonna sew and just kind of attach it like this. I know it's kind of hard to see with the yarn color, but just like this. And then I'm just gonna single crochet across. You can also do slip stitches, it's really up to you. I just prefer single crochets. And just do that all the way across on both sides, and then you'll have your strap attached and your bag will be done. Hey guys, I just wanted to come on and show you guys what the finished product should look like. So this is how it should look. All of your petals, the back. If you wanted, this is totally optional, but if you wanted, you could remake 6 more petals and put them on the back. I just chose not to. If you wanted to do the extra work, you could. It would definitely look really cute with both sides. And then I added lining. Like I said, this is also optional. All you have to do is just do simple stitches. I don't know if you can see that, but super easy to add lining. And this is the finished bag. And then this was the first one, the pink one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you found it helpful, and if you made one yourself, I'd love to know what colors you used. So if you want, follow me on TikTok and tag me in your work. I'd love to see it, or in the comments below, let me know what colors you used. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.